Hello there guys, welcome to the second matchup of tonight. It is EnRo Griffins versus YMCA Esports, and I cannot wait for this one to play out. Obviously, second intermediate game. We did mention that one of these teams, new to the SCL here, it's their first game of the season, so I can't wait to see this one play out. But what are your thoughts jumping into this one, Charlie?
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting one. EnRo Griffins came up from the public division, so it's going to be exciting to see. I mean, I mentioned in the first game that we see today, it's always exciting to see these teams that come up from a division, just see how they can sort of find their place in the division above rather. But obviously YMCA, like you mentioned, this is actually their first game in the SCL. They were meant to have one against Game and Evolution, but they actually got a forfeit win there. So both of these teams are 1-0. It's going to be quite interesting to see how they do perform in this one.
Yeah, should be a nice matchup to see. Obviously, you know, this is kind of where both of these teams, one of them is going to be getting to that 2-0 kind of bracket, you could say. Obviously, you mentioned before the top 6 teams, they are all 2-0 currently, and it is just based on round difference. So one of these teams will join those other 6, but obviously, you know, going 1-1 at the start of the season, it's not the the best start, but it's not the worst. I feel like it is that middle ground. You've definitely got something to work upon, but obviously, as we mentioned, yeah, it's a long season, but you do want to try and get those early wins, because then you put yourself in a very confident position for that rest of the season. But do you have any kind of slight favouring on this, or is it a little bit more up in the air, Charlie?
It's really tough for us to sort of predict anything out of YMCA, just the fact that we really have nothing to go off of. Even the game that they were meant to play in the SCL obviously didn't really go ahead, so it's so tough to know. So just for that sole reason, I probably have to slightly edge towards EnRo Griffins. We've seen them in public division. They had a decent regular season, didn't have that great at playoffs. They went 0-1 in playoffs, losing in the first round, but either way, they did good enough to make it to the intermediate division. Sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah, I feel like the playoffs is kind of a little bit of a different beast. You could say there's best of 3s. Sometimes all it takes is you just have a shaky first map, and then things can kind of run away. But I guess, you've got to imagine, it is just about getting yourself to that next division, and that's certainly something that both of these teams are going to be looking towards by the end of this one. Obviously, getting themselves to playoffs will give them a spot in that Masters division. But enough from us, we're jumping straight into it. EnRo Griffins going to be starting on that T side. Obviously not the biggest of problems. I feel like a map like Inferno, very split. It's just more about kind of what side you prefer, less about the statistics really. But oh, Xerox, what a double there. Takes down Nipper and Mygis. That is ridiculous. Seemed like a perfect app setup, but instantly been shut down there. Xerox just going to be jumping out onto the bomb site. Nyoko taking down Odie.
Just these 2 remaining players for YMCA. I'm still giving it a little bit of a look in by the seams of things. There are obviously a few things that can be saved. Cucumber finds 1, does get taken down. Just DQR. Might just be trying to get out of there with the flashbangs. I say that as 1 does come over and he gets found eventually. Dominant pistol around there from EnRo Griffins.
Yeah, really nice start. Obviously, those 2 entries really kind of kickstarted that A attack. I feel like it was a little bit of a default from EnRo, but once they found those kills, it's just going to be a fast pop towards A. A really important start for them. Obviously, we didn't really see much from YMCA on that pistol because it kind of just got a bit overwhelmed there. Instantly, it was brought to 2v5, I believe. And situations like that really are tough to try and handle or even bring back. But I like this from YMCA. They opt for the eco and they're just stacking towards the A bomb site. Obviously, EnRo, if they just opt for a bit of a default, we can kind of just see some control being taken. Look at Airax, currently just going to be progressing up Banana. And once we see that control taken, I don't think we're going to be seeing many gunfights all too soon.
Yeah, any sort of presence towards mid. We are going to see that flashbang come out from DQR. We should see a bit of a swarm, but you can just see the probe towards B right now and get that information that the B site is free for the taking.
Yeah, they're going to be slowly gathering that information now. Still not met with any contact, and Airax still going to be progressing on through. DQR, the timing on this flash is important. Obviously, there's no one close up towards mid. The only person who could potentially be blinded in Muna. Something blinded, but taken down. But look at Xerox in a perfect position here. AK in hand. Able to find 2. We'll find the 3rd, and it's all on Mygis. And there we we have it. EnRo Griffins. They double down. Obviously, it was just the eco. YMCA did find 1 kill onto Muna, but not really. We're expecting a little bit more from them, especially off the back of a stack. But either way, not too problematic for them.
I mean, so, really well played there. Really well played around there from EnRo Griffins. Just playing it slow. No rush needed. You saw what they did. A very slow play style. No one really moved the muscle until their B probe sort of advanced a bit more, confirmed the B side's clear, and that's where we sort of realized, yeah, okay, we can just head towards this site. So YMCA, they sort of did a decent enough job to find even 1 kill there, considering they did stack the wrong side. But yeah, really well played there from EnRo Griffins.
Yeah, obviously, YMCA, they've got the 5 M4s in play. Fair bit of util to work with as well. Bit of a bonus here for EnRo, as we still have Airax on the Mac 10, and obviously Smaxy building the Galil as well. So the buy's not going to be perfect for them in the next. Obviously, Munu's got a little bit of money to work with, similarly with Airax. Smaxy and Xerox will be able to afford one, but Yonoiko? I think that's how you pronounce it. We'll give it a try anyway.
Could be Nyoko?
Nyoko?
Yoko? Nyoko?
Nyoko? You know, just...
I don't know. Why Nyoko? Why not Nyoko?
Exactly. Airax going to be swinging out now. The smoke will deny some vision, but oh, look at this. I love the aggression with the Mac 10 getting up close and personal. Taking down Nipper. Oh, DQR though. A lot of work to do. Pushes through the smoke. Will find 2. MyGis able to take down Nyoko. And now it's a 2-on-3. The rotations aren't too fast. They need to try and find MyGis here towards Pit before they get that bomb down. But they've spent so much time trying to eliminate him. It's allowed Odie to rotate in, and it's just Muna remaining.
MyGis played this round really well. I mean, the fact that he was one of the first players to have any sort of contact, and still, he's one that's still alive at the end of this.
Might go down after time, Charlie. He could have just backed away.
Yeah, he could have backed away there. Maybe he didn't think he had enough time to back, didn't want to get caught out, but in fact, the exact thing did happen there. Yeah, MyGis, really impressive stuff. Just the fact that he allows, obviously, a lot of presence has been made just by him being in pit alone, so a lot of attention was drawn to him, allowed his teammates, especially DQR, to push through the smoke and find a couple of kills, and as soon as he found the opportunity to strike, that's exactly what he did. Finds 1 kill, backs away, and just keeps himself alive, waiting for his teammates to rotate in.
That's sometimes all you need from the pit player. We didn't even need to see MyGis find a kill. It would have been a 3-on-3, just kept himself alive. All it is just delaying for your teammates to rotate in, and it's that slight amount of presence. That's all you need to leave a kind of a question mark in your opponent's minds. But a great round here from EnRo Griffins. They've started things off very nicely. That's just 3 quick entries. Kind of already.
Yeah, Molly is really well placed there towards Pip. You saw MyGis try to do the exact same thing there, drop the smoke, but Molly was thrown just deep enough where the smoke didn't actually have any impact on it, so MyGis had to get out of there and just got found as well. So no delay in this one. EnRo Griffins do deny YMCA stringing any rounds together.
It's just that kind of deep left corner. It's the only real place that the Molly can land. It's unfortunate for YMCA, especially because they did a great job in that loss, especially a player like MyGis. But looking at the kills, Charlie, YMCA, they really have struggled. You know, they're top performer on 2 kills. They've only found 7 in total. We'll make it 8, but still, we need to see a little bit more from them. Obviously, it is very early on, but EnRo Griffins, they're looking fairly dominant. You've got to remember there was a lot of limitations. We saw some Tech 9s, some Mac 10s. I believe there was a Deagle in there as well. It's just the fact they were able to find those openers. And I like the fact it was the AK that took that early aggression. Sometimes you'll see they generally just send in those Tech 9s, Mac 10s just for those early entries and just expect the AK to trade. But just got a timing. Found the player short, and that's all you really need to do.
We are seeing this boiler boost hit from YMCA.
I like it. Sometimes can be accompanied by that smoke as well. Give you a little bit of a one-way.
EnRo Griffins look like they are making the right play in terms of heading towards B. They do find the kill. They choose not to progress. Understandable as to why. Have no information on how many other players could be behind that smoke. You see Mike gets rotated in now with a P250. Smoke of his own.
Obviously, this is just a half buy from YMCA. Am I just searching for a weapon here? But obviously has retrieved it. But now the site's open. The smokes have come down. I just can't make things work here. Oh, spots one. Oh, that's a nade and a half. 91 damage on that HE. And Arax will convert the kill. So unfortunate, but that's the cost of not having armor.
Yeah, that was a real dunk. Bringing him down so low.
Bit of a jump scare. I was, you know, I'm not even in the game and I got a little bit shaken by that.
Yeah, almost found Smaxy, in fact, the player planting the bomb. Sadly, just couldn't connect the final bullet. Did get punished himself. Odie, trying to keep hold of this M4 towards pit. No EnRo Griffins player is really that close, so should be able to do so with reasonably no trouble coming his way.
Yeah, but I feel as well, EnRo Griffins, they don't need to hunt here. Realistically, just make as much money as you can. You know you're going to be facing off against a full buy in the next, so even if you don't win it, just secure another full buyout in the round after. But a 4-1 start here for EnRo Griffins. If they can keep these entries up, I feel like they've got a strong chance, you know, securing the T side. They've looked great in these opening duels. Sometimes that's all it takes. Just find a couple great openers, and on a map like Inferno, you will see a lot of saves on that CT side. Nice molly here. Erax waiting for the flash. Was able to escape safely. Util will be coming down now for YMCA. A lot of flashes. Still just this 2B defense though. And seeing as we've got 3 players on the right hand side of the A bomb site, we could see a short smoke and then wrap through long. It would be a little bit of a problem. Bit of a team nade there. Not too sure what that nade hit off. Maybe a little bit of clipping, but maybe it's just a full on miss nade. But seemed as though the angles should have worked out.
YMCA really not taking any control here. They are just playing passive, waiting for the fights to come to them. But we've seen this from EnRo Griffins before, where they've been the ones to take the fight. So maybe a bit more of a tactical decision from YMCA, and they do get the opening kill.
It's nice from them. I feel like YMCA, they've been caught off in quite advantageous positions. A lot of the time, you know, it might be just a player reloading short in Nipper's position, but the flash is going to come through, the swing as well. And Wynioko, none the wiser. Even after the flash thrown, he wasn't blinded by it, but just didn't move a muscle. Assumed that there was going to be no swing with the flash, but instantly YMCA, they've got a great chance in this one. 2-man advantage. They just cannot give up the next pick.
2 coming from Abs. Muna with the bomb on his back, going to be coming from short. There is a flank from DQR, and even despite being held, he's still best the player and does find the kill. Could be all 5 surviving here for YMCA, and it certainly is as Nipper finds the final player.
Yeah, obviously I mentioned before, we should see a buy from EnRo Griffins in this one. Wynioko can have a weapon dropped over from Airax, but I feel like I mentioned the fact that EnRo Griffins can fully invest, but the fact they didn't find a single kill, they're going to be against a strong buy. It's not as though there's going to be limitations on the YMCA side. We do see Muna with the AWP in hand. First AWP of the game. I do like to see it. Something that we didn't really see much from in the Hog Riders matchup on that T side. Didn't really opt for the AWP. Straight away, Muna very confident. Nice deep nade there. Not having much impact, but at least giving some presence.
Yeah, hopefully we get to see that again in a later round, because that looked like quite a cheeky nade. You can throw some really cheeky nades towards top mid. I feel like...
Was it Nip Academy? Or Young Ninjas that
it was
did
a team... Yeah, I think it was Young Ninjas, or at least a team very similar to Young Ninjas that threw that sort of double nade.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Deep mid. Was it towards Mexi?
I think it was on... Yeah, in Mexi.
Yeah, that was some really cheeky stuff.
I'm a bit of an advocate of that kind of running util. I love the idea behind it, but I just feel like all it takes is, you know, 1 pixel to the left or the right, and the util's just completely missing. Clear that there's a lot of practice going on for util like that.
EnRo Griffins lining up towards B. 2 defenders here. OD drops the molly. ISR just going to be forcing their way through it. YMCA spots the first, does take him down. Cucumber goes 1 for 1. OD towards Nubox, finds one himself. YMCA potentially could have swung earlier. 2 on 2 here though.
You have the AWP on Muna as well. Bomb will go down. YMCA trapped in the fountain. We'll get the trade. 1v1 now. Goes silent, but he's got a knife in hand. This one's over. Nipa will just win the clutch. So YMCA, they do find their 3rd round. That last one definitely not being one anywhere near as dominant as the previous, but still, they do take the round. They edge ever closer to their opponents. And I think we could just be seeing an eco here for EnRo Griffins.
Yeah, really interesting play there. We did just see YMCA just sort of play with his knife out while heading towards CT.
He's just so sure that Banana would be the position. But
it just feels like the move speed's probably not going to make any difference there. It's just really costly. I thought he was going to head towards tree.
It would have been perfect.
I thought that would have been a really cheeky play, because even if they come towards Banana, that's certainly not an angle that gets cleared all the time. And I thought that definitely could have been the play, but wasn't to be. Game's definitely getting closer and closer, with this being a bit of a half buy here from EnRo Griffins. YMCA could level up the scoreline, especially with that 2-man advantage going their way.
And DQR, that saved AWP in his hands. Let's find a pick with it. You're not going to be seeing some aggression out of brackets, but YMCA just going to be backing away. A lot of util has been expelled now from YMCA to try and delay. DQR could get a little bit overrun here, but just posted up on the angle. It's all about timing here as the smoke fades. Oh, simple stuff that. 2 on 5. YMCA clearly just needed a couple rounds to warm into this one. It's 3 in a row for them, and 2 of them have been won with 5 alive.
Yeah, money's a little split, but it's certainly starting to get built up. EnRo Griffins, even their buying this one's not going to be perfect. Definitely will be some limitations in utility. In fact, it did look like they were questioning in terms of whether to actually buy that or not. Yeah, look at the utility though, Fred.
But it's because they bought too much in the last. We had, you know, a lot of players with Tech 9's armor, pieces of utility. Just take the Glocks. You didn't find any success in it.
It's sort of a buy you would see if
you got the full loss.
Yeah, if you got the full loss. But yeah, you really didn't nip. It seems way too easy for him to find that kill there. Luna's holding his angle as well, but the impressive sort of just awareness to actually clear that angle.
It's clear that YMCA, they found a kind of a newfound level of confidence. I feel like that style of play, you know, they went for the aggressive apps push on the pistol round. There was 2 of them and they got shut down instantly. But now they've got the confidence, they've got the ability, and they're really showing it here. Cucumber finding Airax as well. And seeing as we've just got a smoke and a flash on Smaxy, EnRo Griffin's really going to struggle in this one.
Gonna need a YMCA to make some mistakes here.
But I think, look at their playstyle. They're just playing so passively. I feel like EnRo Griffins, they're going to have to try and take a fight. It's not as though YMCA are moving a muscle. Look at the minimap. Just like statues here.
Yeah, that's what we saw from Airax, in fact, towards B. But that's a great double there onto the A-bomb site. AWP has rotated in and has dealt with that pressure. Caused these B players to rotate off slightly, and that's where these final 2 players on EnRo Griffins are lining up. Steps has been heard. Cucumber with a spam finds the first.
That is perfect.
Smaxy might just try to force the bomb plant, but he could in fact see push through the smoke. Cucumber just spams. Oh, I was going to say keeps himself alive, but he does get taken down, but OD with the return spam finds Smaxy. No bomb plant, which would have been quite nice for EnRo Griffins, but probably wouldn't have changed whether or not they could have got a buy. So YMCA finally take the lead.
It's 4 rounds in a row for them. We're going to be seeing some more Tech 9s in play, and this is the style of buy we saw before, but they've got a little bit more money in the bank now, and obviously with that full loss bonus, they can comfortably go for it. But YMCA, they've just come alive in this one. Seems as though the punishment that EnRo Griffins was dealing to them has had somewhat of a return fire. Util going to be coming over now. Going to try and take some control towards brackets. That smoke might delay this aggression, but they're just going to be going through it. There's no contact to be made either. Just in a tough spot here. Oh, Nipper's in a great position. Surely going to find this pick and still towards balcony. Ooh, the AWP pushing through the smoke. That could be a bit of a misstep. It's a 3-on-2 now.
Just weapons have been retrieved as well. Spam comes through from Cucumber. He does grab one. Oh, with the last few bullets, takes down Muna as well. It's Fred. Oh, it looks good, but wasn't as good as potentially thought. But A-Rag finds them both with the spray down. YMCA potentially wanted to win that one cleaner than they thought.
Well, I feel like they knew against Tech 9s. They knew they had no utility. Let's just swing through the smokes. Let's kind of, show our confidence in full force. And I really don't know why we saw DQR progress through there. AWP in hand. Best case scenario, he finds one and goes down, but couldn't even do that. Put his team in a really tough spot. And even after we saw Cucumber get that double and it was a 1v2, what a round. What a performance shown from EnRo Griffins. Mentioned that they've had a little bit of a weak spell here out of the last couple. But to win a round like that, really going to instill fear in your opponents.
Looks like we are going to be having a few tech issues. I think there's a few players that are struggling with the AC a little bit. The anti-cheat, just trying to... Hopefully that will all get fixed as soon as possible.
I thought you were talking about air conditioning.
No, not the air conditioning here. Something I wish we had in this country.
Not at the moment. It's quite cold. We're getting into the old winter months.
Yeah, I mean, you can see why we don't have air conditioning, don't you? I mean, you probably need it for...
About a week?
Yeah, maybe 2 weeks of the year. And
2 weeks out.
Other than that, you need the heating every other time.
UK weather. Back to a level playing field, though. With 5 rounds remaining, I wonder where this one's going to go. Obviously, YMCA, they've clearly found their footing here in this game. Obviously, took them a little bit of a while to warm into it, but that round from EnRo Griffins, that's the type of round that really can kind of rile up the troops, really kind of give the confidence to a side, especially when they started things off so nicely. We've seen 10 rounds of play here. We mentioned both at the start that we didn't really have a favourite, especially because it is quite a close affair. But either way, we've got to imagine. I still don't have a favourite.
Yeah, certainly is a tough one to predict now. Like you mentioned, YMCA have certainly stepped up in these last few rounds, but it's clear that they're still certainly prone to a mistake still, just like most teams in this league.
Well, no one's perfect. It's all about whether you can capitalise those mistakes being made. For example, in the last 1 versus 2, just played to perfection. The players doubled up. There was a slight gap in the smoke. Oh, what a peek there from DQR. Eliminates Muna. That is so unfortunate, but sometimes just how the cookie crumbles. He's holding...
One Molotov halted this attack as well.
Oh, and there's the
second one. These smokes are going to start to fade, Fred.
They do have some more utility to use, but it's unfortunate they're going to have to waste it. I say that. Nipper with a double. 2 on 5 now. YMCA and Xerox with a lot of work to do. Obviously, they are the 2 top performers on this EnRo Griffin side, but surely too tall of an order. And now it is just Xerox remaining. Odie, a great find, but Nipper, certainly the hero in this one. Sends out the flashbang, fully blinds 2, and just swings alongside with it. Obviously, Xerox has got a lot of util to work with, but just going to have to play this one. Contact needs to find a pick, potentially on Nipper, and then can swing out.
Well, he landed in new box, but Nipper's just allowed to evade towards second orange. He's going to get hunted on now. Just swings out, finds the kill. Doesn't even matter.
It seems as though Xerox kind of giving himself best real chance there. Smoking off CT. He knew exactly where Nipper would be playing from, but didn't even matter. YMCA, they take the lead.
Money's not in a good position from EnRo Griffins either.
7 can be found. We need to see a bit of what we saw from EnRo Griffins earlier on if they do want to close this one out.
Yeah, money's not necessarily going to be perfect on the side of EnRo Griffins unless they do manage to find a couple of kills. But that's a nice one there. And I mean, there's a second kill, in fact.
And YMCA's hungry for more.
Win this one. This is the bomb, by the way, on YMCA. This can be dropped.
I don't think they know.
Doesn't really look like he wants to press the issue, though. He should be aware now the fact that somebody came back and instantly left. Might even be able to spot the bomb.
You're not going to be hunting just for that deagle. 2 defenders here towards A. Oh, with the AWP missing that first shot. Missed the second as well. And Xerox in Apartments finds Nipper. It's all on Odie. Such a tough way for YMCA to lose yet another round. It's 2 half buys that they've forfeited. Just giving up to their opponents. It's just so unfortunate.
We've seen YMCA do such a great job at playing passive in these sort of full buy rounds, but maybe just getting too aggressive on the ecos, maybe too overconfident, because they really gave up the kills there. It certainly wasn't that EnRo Griffins hunted for them, really had to work to get the kills. They were really sort of given the fights and they were able to win them.
And I feel like you do understand you wanting to try and find an an early pick here or there, but it's interesting that potentially their change of pace is always in the worst of times. Just unfortunate, I guess, but look at the money that YMCA have to work with. They do have that 1.9 loss, so Nipper, Cucumber, and DQR really aren't going to be getting a strong buyout in the next. Are we going to see a force hit? Seems as though it's just going to be a half buy with P250s dropped over from Odie. But now EnRo Griffins, they can take the lead. I mentioned how 7 was pretty much guaranteed for YMCA, but I guess the T's proving me wrong. And potentially proving to their opponents, doesn't matter whether we're on a full buy or a half buy, we will show you some firepower. Nice flash there. Insta-kill onto DQR. Odie, the player with a weapon, still playing towards B here. Oh, and the P250 can find one. Oh, YMCA! Even while blind, readjusting the spray, that was perfect. Majest will find one. 3-on-3 here. YMCA half HP. There is somewhat of a chance here for YMCA, and as this smoke fades towards pit, they're giving it a full clear. They don't want to take any chances. And there we have it. Majest will go down. Is that a moto smoke? Oh, I love that. Someone's going to try and push through the smoke here. Cucumber seems like he wants to go for this AWP. Oh, now the shot's been made. That could have been his cue to push through, but opted against it. It's being held by YMCA, but the timing could be perfect. Just as he backs away, he can find the AWP hit. But YMCA ready to keep his team alive. EnRo Griffins, they take the lead. 2 rounds remaining in this half.
Really back and forth affair here.
Oh, what an entry from YMCA. Majest goes down. And I think they realised, they needed to full invest in the last. We're seeing a double eco here, Charlie. We saw the P250s in the last. Smacksy. Retrieves the bomb. A-bomb site just thoroughly under the control of the T's. And they could have had a real chance if they decided to force in the last. We could have seen maybe even an AWP dropped over from Odie. But so many question marks. Clearly a bit of miscommunication in the YMCA camp. Odie, all that remains here. They might go on a hunt. They've got enough to buy in the next. Seeing it's the last round of the half, they might as well go for it. Oh, what a one-tap from Airax. Eliminates Odie in style. Warp has been dropped over to DQR. I feel like we've seen a little bit from DQR, but potentially we need a little bit more. Obviously, especially on that CT side as well, I feel like that is where an AWP is going to feel a little bit more comfort. YMCA getting a little too deep there. Passive playstyle here from YMCA. Once again, we've seen them find success in these type of rounds time and time again. A lot of util already used from the T's. Obviously, they've still got 4 smokes remaining, but only a couple flashbangs and no Molotovs.
Yeah, might try to take something soon. Flash comes in, it's too deep though. Easy kill there for Muna.
Really important stuff. Flash just inches too deep there, not blinding the AWP. A simple kill. A smoke towards CT could keep Odie out of this defense, and it will just leave Cucumber alone. Flashbang to his name, and now the util comes on through. The spam's surely going to be coming through. Oh, YMCA spotted him. Will eliminate as well. It's a 5-on-3 here. Mygis and DQR, they were waiting towards the A bomb side. They wanted to take down Xerox, but look at how much time they've wasted. This retake's going to be very late.
Ruin's player has spotted the one towards New Box, but it doesn't matter. The flash was too good. Mygis being spotted. 1 versus 4 now. This round's surely done.
Oh, and Muna ends it in style. Found so many kills in this round. EnRo Griffins, they end it 9-6. They had a very strong start and obviously a strong finish as well.
Yeah, really did end it how they started it. Impressive stuff there. You got to think there's still players on both sides who really didn't manage to step up. Maybe the halftime switch can allow them to have a little bit more impact, but still this game's so up in the air, so tough to really predict who can take this. We've seen glimpses from both teams, but definitely mistakes here and there from both teams as well. Obviously, YMCA, they certainly could have won the half. Just a couple of half buys here or there that they failed to convert. Just ended up costing them.
Well, not only did they give the rounds away, it broke their economy. It really affected it. And I feel like now we can see EnRo Griffins potentially close this one out. If they win the pistol, you've got to imagine they're going to be in a very good position.
Yeah, especially potentially being on that CT side, the half that's potentially considered slightly more comfortable. Was a little peek down mid there from Muna. Just getting a bit of information. Didn't spot anyone.
Airax just trying to... Oh, I was going to say trying to find an opener, but has been dinked very early on.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be forced back due to that ding now.
YMCA just going to be jiggling here. Oh, and the timing on that was perfect. Nipper's first shot doing a lot of work. We have got a player in Grave just hiding away. That is Xerox. He has made his position known. Oh, Nipper able to find one. Xerox, all that remains on the A bomb site, and now it's Smaxy and Airax to try and retake, but a 4-on-2, it's going to be tough. Similar kind of story to what we saw on EnRo Griffins' T-pistol, but a nice find from Smaxy to kick things off on this retake, but Cucumber holding Airax. He's completely trapped here.
DQR's position has been spotted, has been made known. Just like that. Couple of kills there coming through. Yeah, A-bomb site is really a tough one to retake. So many positions that you need to clear, so many crossfires that can be held, and
2-man disadvantage, it's going to be tough.
It always is. I mean, it was a nice find initially, but still plenty of work to be done, and EnRo Griffins do win that pistol, but we are seeing a return force from YMCA. They're giving it a good go.
Yeah, I feel like, we see a lot of the CTs opt for the Force and definitely works out well. But OD with a nice opener onto Xerox. I like the fact that we've got 4 MP9s here. I feel like sometimes you usually see a couple Deagles. Maybe even some 5.7s. But I like the fact we've got the MP9s in play. Nipper, though, finding one with the Mac. Myjus does get eliminated by YMCA, but what a find from OD once again. 2 on 4. Smaxy and YMCA, all that remains, and look at Nipper's positioning here. We can see a knife. No, it doesn't want to take any chances. Obviously 30 HP. Kind of understand why, but it's just Smaxy remaining.
Game's going to be continuing to heat up here. Things should be leveled up, unless in the next round we see Smaxy pull off some ridiculous MP9 play.
Can't imagine so, though, really. But YMCA, they're going to find their 8th. They're going to bring themselves within a good position there. Interesting smoke. Oh, Smaxy. Quite quick on the trigger there. Does find the frag nonetheless and take any damage either. But Smaxy's a player that really needs to start stepping up here. Only 5 and 9. The rest of his team all putting on a great show.
Smaxy is able to upgrade to the Galil.
Seeing as Odie goes down to the bomb, I don't know, what are we going to see here from EnRo Griffins? Obviously it was a bit of a kind of, I don't think it's worth it. There's no point even going for it. Obviously we've seen it quite a lot on T sides, teams constantly going for forces when it's close, but they opt against it. Smaxy invests in a lot of util as well, and this could be the play, in fact.
He's just throwing his gun on the ground, gonna need to pick that up.
Well, you know, you don't want to have your Galil in your back pocket when you're throwing a flash. It's just added weight.
Yeah, especially when you jump in.
Yeah. You try and jump with a Galil on your back. I think it'd be quite tough.
Imagine it slap against you.
Oh, that'd be painful.
Because obviously, I imagine you would have.
Oh, I use.
Sort of strap, maybe?
See, I sellotape it to my back.
Okay, like what is it? Is it Die Hard?
Die Hard, yeah. John McClane.
Never actually seen Die Hard.
Neither have I. But I know about it. Is that worse?
Probably. Maybe that's what we need to do. Watch Die Hard.
A Die Hard watch along on SCL.
Yeah, do it. SCL Christmas special.
It's a Christmas film. It's not an action film.
In this one, though, obviously it is just Smaxy with any sort of weapon. He is the one towards B. That's where the bomb is heading, but just a lot of work's going to need to be done.
Nipper. Drawn rotations kept these players towards A. Seeing as Smaxy's used all his util already, it's going to be tough and doesn't even find anything. Instantly DQR eliminates. Nice dink there from Airax. Searching for more here. Does even more damage as well. But look at Nipper in the back line. He's going to have a field day here. Xerox.
I'm just not on his side as he does get found. My guess very deep, but a great shot there from Xerox.
Gonna give him another opportunity.
Tag. He finds the kill.
One
plays a low.
1v5 Deagle Ace.
DQR is low enough to be hit. It's just a body shot time. It doesn't look great though. And Xerox does get found. Certainly a nice amount of damage done though.
Especially seeing as it was just a half buy. Cucumber's not going to have a perfect buy. Weapons are going to have to be dropped over. But 9-9 level playing field now. Muna, AWP in hands. It's a luxury that YMCA won't have in this one. Obviously, they do have a lot of utility. But something to mention, Charlie, only the one kit on Xerox. Oh, even after pulling the weapon out, was quick enough to get the kill. Cucumber, an important frag. It seemed as though he should have been taken down for nothing. Trade does come through, but what a kill from Nipper. Eliminates Muna there, and now the AWP could potentially be retrieved. 4 on 3 straight away. The aggression from YMCA working out perfectly for them.
Bomb still dropped in T-spawn, so YMCA can't really commit to anything just yet. Xerox ball down to 19 points of health.
We still have some damaging utility on the YMCA side. Oh, what a find though. Nipper does convert that initial damage dealt.
YMCA towards pit. We've seen some magic hit from Migus, but I don't know if we're going to be able to see it again. The molly hasn't spread, but the smoke drop's going to indicate that he is certainly here. Able to find one. Hasn't spotted the apps player just yet.
Smaxy going to be rotating in. Needs to deal with Nipper. DQR just playing hidden on the bomb site. Steps have been heard. Oh, and Nipper surely has this kill every day of the week. Got a bit dicey there, but still found the frag. It's all on YMCA. Ooh, 1 on 3. We'll find one, but now the swing from short and long comes through. And YMCA, they've looked great here on the T side. 4 rounds in a row here. And even after we mentioned EnRo GRIFFINS' kind of success towards the end off the back of those half buys, YMCA, they've done a great job to get themselves back in the lead here.
Yeah, I mean, it really has been a very back and forth game. Obviously, we mentioned we don't really know much about YMCA. Their first game was a forfeit win. Haven't played any other games in the SCL, so had absolutely nothing to go off of, but looking good here.
That's a lovely way to find these two openers. One of them being the rifle. What a shot from Nipper. Just makes it look easy. Wish I could one tap like that. That's the dream.
Maybe Nipper gets to teach you one day. Oh, spam. Good, not good enough though. Smaxy survives on 29 points of health.
I'm going to be facing off against the full attack here. Oh, what a shot from Muna. Gathered that information.
Great eagle shots here.
Oh no!
Mexi can do.
Oh, he finds
There's no
3.
way he finds 3. That is ridiculous. Muna doesn't have armor, but he's got himself an M4 coming in through the back lines.
That is insane. Picked up a smoke as well. There's a real chance he wins this. Obviously, the bomb plant is very open here. There's going to be a lot of
smoke so beneficial, isn't it? Just can smoke off CT. Is he going to waste time clearing things out?
He's going to push through
This is
CT.
cheeky. Really dicey round there. You have to think if he had armor, he certainly could have won that one. Looks like aim punch maybe affected him a little bit, but YMCA is certainly going to have to remain humble after a round like that.
That was a 5v2.
A great deagle shot from Muna to open things up, and then Smaxy, you mentioned he needs to step up, finds 3 kills on low HP with the deagle.
It seemed as though they kind of just all lined up perfectly, but that wasn't when he took those shots. It was a little after. Oh, Cucumber getting aggressive though. The double stolen away from him by DQR. And once again, YMCA in another 2-man advantage here. Cucumber just wants to get out of Mexico.
Just getting blocked. You're going to have to wait.
You got to pay the toll.
Virtue. Hate toll roads.
Hate toll roads.
Yeah, they are ridiculous. Really controversial opinion there. Toll roads, no. He's been waiting this whole time. Cucumber finally allowed out. He's paid the fee.
Mike just shoots him in the back of the head. Where's my payment? We get slightly derailed here.
YMCA though are looking really great on this T side. We have to say that. It's 5 in a row so far, Fred. It's a 5 on 3 this time. It certainly could make it 6.
Yeah, and I can't think of a reason why they won't. Smaxy, only player with utility. It's a smoke and a flash.
I mean, look at the gamble anyway from EnRo.
Yeah, it's just going to be a save.
I mean, I do like these calls on Inferno. I feel like you used to see it when Zeus was at Navi. You used to do it a lot of the time. When any sort of disadvantage came through, they used to just gamble a lot of the time. It used to be like, oh, they lose a pick and instantly 4 players go towards one site. Just stack it. because obviously Inferno, the very long rotations and both bomb sites are quite challenging to retake. So sort of gamble, if they head towards your site, you've got 4 players there. There's a good chance you win the round, or at least set yourself up to win the round. And if not, just keep holding your weapons in the next and you go again.
Yeah, I feel like it's a playstyle that is definitely adopted by certain teams, and especially on a map like Inferno. But I'll be honest with you, Charlie, the Griffins aren't flying high here on the CT side. It seems really nice on their T side. They closed it out, you know, with a 9-6 scoreline. It seemed perfect for them. You know, switching to the CT side, generally the favoured side on a map like Inferno, but they're really struggling.
It's interesting. I mentioned potentially EnRo could sort of find themselves in a better position, as the CT side is just traditionally a more comfortable side for most teams. It's traditionally always been a CT-sided map. At points, it's been heavily CT-sided. So, and I mean, not much has changed about the CT side in general. So it's a part of the map that you'd imagine most teams would be more comfortable on. But EnRo really struggling here, or potentially is just YMCA being too strong on the T side.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely a kind of amalgamation of both. It seems as though, obviously, EnRo Griffins falling short in these rounds. YMCA, they're really showing their dominance. And that's what's led us to this 12-9 scoreline. That's 6 rounds in a row. They doubled their rounds. And we haven't seen EnRo Griffins find a single one. This could be the change, though. We've got a full buyout now. Obviously, slight limitations. We've got the 2 FAMASs on Xerox and YMCA. And this setup, 2 players in an off angle, it could be perfect, but at the same time...
All it needs is 1 flashbang.
Yeah, but let's say we see DQR go for a bit of an aggressive AWP peak. What if we see a collapse?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how this one does pan out.
Don't get me wrong, YMCA aren't going to be ready for that position, but I think at the same time, utility alone can really foil their plans. Utility, they have just dropped one of their smokes. YMCA will smoke off the molly. The nade doing a little bit of damage to him. I think the B call is going to be made now. Oh, the smoke has cost the Molotov from landing. Flashes will come over. Oh, but Airax, he's done so much work in this round. Look at the damage. Cucumber, all that remains, 28 HP. And I mentioned this could be the change that EnRo Griffins need. And it certainly has gone that way.
Cucumber will be allowed to keep hold of his AK, but yeah, really impressive stuff there. Just from Airax, just so aware of just where to spam, the timings of everything, and that's what happens when you keep hold of your util. Really just applies the pressure. YMCA probably could have waited a little bit longer, just waited for the smoke to dissipate, but when you're so low on time, you start just to get a bit antsy, a bit too fidgety. You want to just start to get ready and hit the bomb site, and potentially very costly stuff there, but important round from EnRo Griffins. They needed that one. And
don't get me wrong, you've got 28 seconds on the clock. You certainly can just wait a little bit, but as you mentioned, I feel like sometimes the B bomb site, you can find an opening pick, but it's a little bit of a struggle. There's a lot of spams, a lot of utility you've got to kind of wait out for. So potentially that was the reason for that early go call, but definitely didn't work out in their favor. And EnRo Griffins, they found double digits 2 rounds away from their opponents. And with that opening pick from Muna, they've got a little bit of a chance, a little bit of a bonus in this one. They need to be ready for Nipper, though, getting very deep in apartments. It would be a devastating way for things to end for YMCA if they can't close this one out. Although they had a little bit of a shaky start on their CT side, their T side has looked exhilarating so far.
It will be disappointing if just 1 round's really what changes how this tempo of the game does go, because it was looking like YMCA were very dominant on their T side, but potentially things could start to change now.
Odie, half HP here, might be the one opting for the entry, but look at this crossfire. They just go into the clutches, their opponents, and Xerox ready for that jump down. And EnRo Griffins, that's 2 rounds in a row that they've absolutely dominated. Look at the economy, look at the money they've got in the bank. Compared to YMCA, even after winning 6 rounds in a row, they've got nothing to really show for.
I mentioned that the A bomb site is one that's really challenging to retake and execute because of how good some of the crossfires can be. You got to see one in action there. Oh, look at the util. 2 players brought down low. Odie's been taken out this round. DQR brought down even lower.
Obviously, this is just a half buy, but we've seen EnRo Griffins and what they did on their half buys. Not to say that YMCA can't replicate it, but we're going to need to see some very crisp shots. And there's one as Cucumber takes down Arax. The swing will come through, and Smaxy with a lovely triple there. And Muna to close things out. Level playing field now, Charlie, 12-12. And the buy for YMCA is not going to be perfect either. Definitely going to be some limitations in the util department.
We'll level that once again. I felt like after we watched the first half, we definitely felt like this could have been a very close affair, close finish. To be exactly what we're experiencing.
As I mentioned, though, look at the utility the YMCA have remaining. Only 6 pieces. Luckily for them, 3 of them are flashbangs, and they have 2 smokes as well. So they can just, you know, set up a regular execute, but holding off the retake is going to be tough. Realistically, they need to find a pick, or maybe even 2, before they decide to go for that execute. 3 players towards Banana here. The util will come through now. Odie and Cucumber just both getting absolutely destroyed. Just going to force the hand of the YMCA side, but EnRo Griffins destined to take the lead. As you mentioned, Charlie, such a close game still. Nice from DQR there, takes down Arax. An unnecessary swing, you could say, but Smaxy in a great position to find DQR. Just Mygis and Nipper remaining. Need to find this kill on the bomb side. They do, in fact, take him down. The bomb is on Mygis, but needs to deal with YMCA first. Just opting for the bomb plant here. I like the play behind it. Just go for it. Could be giving a kill here. 1-on-2 now. Really does have a chance. YMCA needs to just keep himself alive. Wait for Muna to rotate on in. But obviously with the AWP, trading's not going to be too easy, but it doesn't matter. Muna, perfect swing there. Eliminates Mygis and EnRo Griffins. They do indeed take the lead.
It feels like EnRo Griffins have finally started to find their form on their CT side. And it could be just what they need to allow them to push over the line and take this one. In YMCA, their money isn't great. Even with the bomb plant, I don't really think they can go for a buy here. I think if they do, it could be too costly. They could be giving up 15. It will just be this partial investment. 14 could be on the cards for EnRo Griffins. But you mentioned, obviously, we've seen some of these half buys already in this game go the way of the sort of weaker buy team. No reason why it can't happen for YMCA.
Just going to be a fast pop here. And look at that. No flashbangs to blind Xerox. And they're just jumping their way on through. Once again, Molotov's been dropped, but Cucumber will find one. 1v5 now. Both players wrapping through short. There is a smoke to deny their vision, and Cucumber questioning as to why there's no more contact from the bomb site. We'll just progress through towards B. Does have a chance here. Potentially get the bomb down, but look at this fast flank. Might be spotted here. I think has just gone out of the sight lines of his opponents. He's been spotted. Gonna struggle to get this bomb down now.
Yeah, they all know exactly where he is. He's got the util, tries to take the fight, but isn't going to be successful. And EnRo Griffins do find 14, only losing 1 player.
2 rounds away from closing this one out now. And it seems as though both of these teams, they find their form and they're just able to string a lot of rounds together. Obviously, we saw 6 in a row at the beginning of this half, and EnRo Griffins, that's now 5 in a row for them. This round, such an important one for both sides. YMCA, they'll be able to bring themselves back into the game, whereas EnRo Griffins, they edge ever closer to that final 16. could have an overtime on our hands, Charlie.
And we certainly could. EnRo Griffins, they're certainly not strapped for cash. They've got plenty in the bank. So they should be fine for the rest of this game, or at least the rest of regulation. YMCA, certainly not the same story. They lose this one, they could have a bit of financial turmoil.
Eric sends in the Molotov, but a nice find. Can't back away. So needs to just get posted up, but Myjus will take him down. YMCA waiting for a swing from apartments or short. Smoke will land towards library. We need to see some rotations from the EnRo Griffins players. The flash will come out. Nipper jumping out on towards short. This player on the bomb site completely trapped. Xerox needs to try and find one. It's successful, but the trade comes through. And now it's a 2-on-3. No utility on Nipper. We do have Odie with a smoke and a flash. DQR with a nade. The smoke's going to be used now. And they've got a lot of time for this retake. They can really make things work here.
Yeah, they got the money, so there's no issue. There's gonna be no real need to save unless they're in dire need to keep hold of this AK, which I don't really think there is. Miss smokes cause a bit of an issue. Muna finds the first on to Nipper. Fred, this is doable.
There's a real chance here. They're aware of Muna, 15 HP. Oh, I like the spam there. I feel like you rarely see them go for it with an AK. More often with an AWP, but like the idea behind it.
Would have been a great way to find that player. If Muda wasn't tagged down so much, I think he would have found that kill. Odie just backing off and really quick reactions from him. Turning in, giving him a bit of return fire, taste of his own medicine.
But Charlie, the fact they found that one kill, the impact that has is so much. Nipper on a Galil, lack of utility. We don't see an AWP on DQR. A couple limitations. I do believe DQR could have invested in one, but opted against it. Muna will find Nipper. This is exactly what you mentioned before. They've got so much money to work with, so they can just go for those clutches. They can give it a try. And finding that kill is going to have a lot of impact. Nipper, the player on that weaker weapon, has been eliminated, but they're going to be leaning towards the B bomb site now. And we're going to need to see a masterclass once again from Smaxy and Airax.
Man advantage for EnRo Griffins, but still 4-on-2 on this B bomb site. There needs to be a strong defense.
There's so much utility coming over the top now. Smaxy positions towards pillar. No more util coming though. No flashes to blind Smaxy. He's done so much damage. Finds a kill. Drops DQR down to 2 HP. A job well done here. Oh, and look at the aggression from Airax. We'll find one Cucumber, 1 versus 4 gone 1v3 in a really tough situation now. EnRo Griffins, they need to play this as a squadron. They cannot just go for these opening picks alone. Oh, and even though Xerox wasn't aware of that swing, had enough time to adjust, and they do find 15 now, and the money for YMC really isn't looking good whatsoever. Myjus, Nipper, gonna be either on Galils or without util on AKs, and it's gonna be tough.
Bomb plant certainly at least a bit of a saving grace there. Lucky to have even this level of weaponry. It'll be really awkward. DQR, what is he opting to do? He does bring out the big green, opted against it in the last. I wonder if it was a bit of a contingency plan just in case they didn't win it, just as a sort of a last ditch attempt.
It could be make or break though. Cucumber trapped here, but there we have it. There's the AWP of DQR, and there's a double for DQR. Great openers. Once again, another 2-man B defense has been eliminated, and this is where YMCA, they know they can just progress through the bomb site. The one problem is the bomb still towards T-Ram, but it doesn't bother DQR. He's found 3 so far, and what a round there for the T's. Something they were begging for.
Really impressive stuff from DQR. I mean, you saw how long he sort of waited, questioning, should I bring out that AWP or not? And definitely just paid itself in dividends there.
Certainly the right decision to make. Obviously, the money for EnRo Griffins is still looking good. YMCA, not too much in a similar spot. They definitely don't want to go hunting too much. If Muna can find 2 more frags, that's where we're going to be seeing a limitation once again. So I think they all realise, you know what? Let's just sit back. No need to get aggressive. We go into the final round of regulation though. EnRo Griffins, Still got match point here, but will they close it out? Ooh, DQR does go down. Potentially no AWP. DQR has got one out, in fact. Was that saved?
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah, it was saved. No one invested in it. It was saved last second.
Very nice stuff from them then. As we mentioned, full buyout for EnRo GRIFFINS.
What could be the last round, Fred? Such a back and forth game this has been. Been so tough for us to pick a winner, and this could be it. All over now. Nipper finds the first. That could be what YMCA needs, just to allow them to go to overtime. Disadvantage now. The Griffins have to really dig deep if they want to win this in regulation.
Yeah, and what they've opted for could be what saves them, in fact. There we have it. Arax does find one. I like the boost there. Gave them a real chance. Just leaving Smaxy to defend here towards B. But straight away, Arax rotates towards A, finds a pick, sends it straight back towards the B bomb site. And look at the minimap, Charlie. We can see YMCA slowly creep their way back towards B. Obviously, they had such great success towards that B bomb site earlier. We do still have Nipper operating as a bit of a lurk, someone that we need to potentially watch out for.
Oh, he's been spotted. Barely finds the lurk. That's really impressive there. Smaxy on the boost. If he doesn't get cleared, this could be dire.
Oh, it's over. It's surely done.
Cucumber. Oh, the spam thread is so good. 14 HP.
Smaxy ran out of ammo there. We could have been seeing this game already over.
Bomb does go down. You see that Smaxy doesn't even want to question that. Doesn't even want to take that fight. Realizes how important this is. Cucumber has to find a kill. There's no way he can win this just on 14 HP and playing passive. Has to hope for something, but he is getting pushed. Playing around the smoke. Finds one, but eventually falls.
Yeah, there we have it. EnRo GRIFFINS. They do take it. Such a close game, though. 16-14. We needed to go the full 30 to find our winners, to find our successors. But there we have it. And what a game it was. I feel like it was just so back and forth. We had everything. So many great clutches. Just so many important rounds. And I feel like both teams, although, yes, YMCA, they weren't able to take it, they showed so many signs of life here. And realistically, I feel like it's definitely a type of game that you can kind of leave the server with your head held high. I feel like they definitely did show some great signs of life, but YMCA, they just didn't have that slight edge over EnRo GRIFFINS. And I feel like that rotation towards A from Arax, the boost up and finding that frag, was all they needed. It was just what was required to win that round. But what an amazing game. But what are your thoughts after that one, Charlie?
Yeah, it was a great game between the two teams. I mean, so back and forth. Yeah, like you mentioned on the final round, the boost over the smoke towards mid really changed up how things went. Obviously, it was an opening kill for YMCA initially, and yet still, EnRo GRIFFINS still managed to make it work somehow. And Arax, it was such a risky push to push through that smoke in that man advantage situation. Could have really cost his team, but in fact, went above and beyond, found 2 kills himself, and really set his team up to take that. And on top of that, Smaxy spam through the smoke, chipping the final player down solo. It was just too tall an order for any player in the server today. But YMCA, a great effort, but they do fall at the last hurdle. EnRo GRIFFINS, though, they do go 2-0, which is obviously a great way to start off this season. In fact, it will actually leave them 7th in the intermediate division right now, which is a pretty nice place just to be 4 now. And I do believe YMCA are just one position below them. Yeah, they are in 8th. Obviously, there's a lot of teams who are 1-0, who haven't played games right now. But either way, right now, YMCA, they are in a decent position with 1-1. Still a long season to go, so anything can happen.
Yeah, you've got to imagine that both of these teams, as I mentioned before, they've started off their season well, and going 1-1, it's not the biggest of their problems. Obviously, YMCA, they've still got plenty more games to try and show their worth, and if they can just keep themselves within the top 16, that's all you really need to do. But obviously, that has been it from us tonight. Hopefully, we will have plenty more games to see tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys, as I mentioned, tomorrow for those games.